Good morning, you guys, and welcome to another fruitful episode of The Morning Brew. I'm Anna, and today we're joined with a little guest host.
I'm Maya with an I.
Yes, we have another Maya here at The Morning Brew who has so graciously come to host, and she works behind the scenes. You tell them.
Yes, I'm also a senior producer here at The Morning Brew on Wednesdays, which you'll learn more about in today's episode.
Yeah, later on during the Brew Crew profile, so stick around. We have a lot of fun news coming at you today, so take a sip of that coffee.
Enjoy the Morning Brew.
Let's get into it. So astronauts on board the International Space Station have been growing their first ever supply of chili peppers, and they finally got to enjoy them last weekend as they enjoyed a meal of space tacos. According to NASA, these peppers are from New Mexico and have been growing since July. Previously, astronauts have grown lettuce and radishes, but growing peppers is significantly more difficult to achieve. Astronaut Megan MacArthur tweeted that these were the best space tacos yet. Wow. I can't even grow plants on regular ground, nonetheless space, so good for them.
Good for them, definitely. In an update on what we reported last week, the Pfizer vaccine has now been approved in the United States for children ages 5 to 11, a decision made by the CDC after careful consideration and a vote that was 14-0. The approval of the vaccine for this age group affects around 28 million children in the U.S., and the child-sized doses of the vaccine will begin distribution shortly.
We love to hear that.
We do.
Now we have some crazy entertainment news. Everyone's favorite Twilight star and queer icon is tying the knot. Kristen Stewart and Moxie screenwriter Dylan Meyer have gotten engaged. They met 8 years ago, and while they don't have specific wedding plans, Stewart says that she wants the wedding to be pretty chill. This comes on the heels of the release of Stewart's new film Spencer, which features her in the titular role as Princess Diana. I'm honestly surprised. I didn't know when Kristen Stewart was going to get married, but I guess now it's happening.
Yeah. And
she's kind of one of my favorite stars growing up.
No, she's great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for her. And if only her would have a wedding that's pretty chill. That fits
know.
her vibe very well.
That was definitely the quote of the article. She wants the wedding to be pretty chill.
Exactly. As of November 2nd, Yahoo has decided to remove its services in China, claiming it was due to the increasingly challenging business and legal environment. Yahoo revoked its services at the same time as the enactment of China's Personal Information Protection Law, which aims to control how companies gather and store information. Because of China's policies on internet censorship, Chinese phone users cannot access social media platforms like Facebook, and now have also lost access to major internet browsers.
And next, the Department of Public Health in Los Angeles has developed a list of standards that must be met in order for the mask mandate for large outdoor and indoor gatherings to be completely lifted. The chief metric that must be met is at 3 consecutive weeks of moderate virus transmission. Other requirements include a full vaccination rate of 80%, 3 consecutive weeks of low hospitalization due to COVID, and no outbreaks of high-risk variations of the virus.
I'd say this is a pretty exciting step in the right direction.
I know. We've been hearing about, mask mandate. No mask mandate for a second, mask mandate again. And we're finally at the point where it's low enough that we can have some gatherings.
This is pretty exciting. Definitely is. Well, in other news, the FBI has presented their working theory that the mysterious jetpack man frequently spotted near LAX is actually just a dummy or balloons attached to a drone. In the past months, there have been multiple sightings by pilots flying to LAX of what appears to be a man in a jetpack flying over altitude of 6,000 feet. However, experts maintain that a jetpack would not have the fuel capacity to fly to the height the pilots reported. Did you see any evidence of this?
I wish I had heard about this story before.
I wish I'd seen the mysterious jetpack man.
But alas, he's probably gone, I guess.
Or just not even real.
Yeah, flying in the air. We have some climate news following the 26th Climate Summit in Glasgow, Scotland, LA Mayor Eric Garcetti has laid out his plans to combat climate change. In a statement, Garcetti pledged to make LA 97% carbon-free by the end of the decade, achieve net zero emissions from the electrical grid, make LA more walkable, and reiterated promises made in LA's Green New Deal, which passed in 2019. He also stressed that wealthy nations, as well as the private sector, must make greater investments in funding greenhouse gas emissions reductions.
This next news story is a pretty exciting one. A Santa Clarita man reportedly spent $150 a year for several years on a premium season dining pass to eat all of his meals at Six Flags Magic Mountain, the amusement park, saving thousands of dollars. The pass gives holders access to unlimited lunch, dinner, drinks, and snacks on all days the park is open. I'd say that's commitment.
I would say that he is a money-saving king.
Yeah, he stuck to his plan. He knew what he wanted.
Yeah, it's like the Village Dining Hall.
Yeah.
Love it.
The man says that with the money he saved, he was able to pay off student debt, get married, and purchase a home in Los Angeles.
That is so crazy. I would love to pay off my student debt if I could, but yeah, must use that. Former USC head football coach Clay Helton has now moved to a new position in the southeastern parts of the United States. The announcement came yesterday that Helton will now serve as the head coach of Georgia Southern University, the home of the Eagles. As already known, Helton was fired from the coaching position earlier this year after the university's loss to the Stanford football team. He signed a $800,000 contract to serve as the coaching position for 5 seasons.
Wow.
All right.
Well, that's all the news we have for now.
But we have more coming up. We have dorm tours coming. We recently saw Party, but now we are looking at Web Tower. Get a sneak peek on the inside. I actually used to live in Web Tower.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
I've actually never seen the inside of Web Tower, so this will be exciting.
Yeah. Web was interesting, I would say. I actually liked my time in Web. It was a great location next to like the Lion Center.
It is a good
Village.
location.
Yeah.
You have a lot of amenities there, I feel like.
You know,
air
people
conditioning,
underrate
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Alana is going to show us about the dorm tour.
Hi, I'm Alana, and welcome to Web Tower. Okay, so this is the study lounge. It's on the first floor, so we share this with all 14 other floors. So we have a bunch of tables, we have some couches to hang out, and we also have a projector.
So this is the laundry room. It's on the first floor, which is the same as the study lounge. Unlike other dorms, we have one laundry room that we share with everyone else at Web.
This is my door. There's only 8 apartments on each floor, and let's take a look inside. So this is our bathroom. We share a bathroom with 4 people. We have our own shower, toilet, and 2 sinks. So we also are fortunate enough to have a kitchen. So we have a stove, we have a microwave. So we also have a little dining table and we have couches. And this is our wall of art. It is very much in progress. And right here, we also have a TV and our printer.
Here, we also have a super big window with a gorgeous view. From our living room, we can see the Village, downtown LA, and the Hollywood sign when it's not cloudy.
And this is my room. I share it with one other person.
And this is my side, which is very plain because posters are expensive, so I'll make do with what I have.
So that wraps up the tour of Web Tower, and yeah, fight on.
This really reminds me of my sophomore year and gives me a lot of nostalgia.
That's so nice. Good old days. Anyways, we're gonna talk about a few events happening this week. Are you in the mood for theater? Go and check out Miss Julie, Freedom Swimmer, a reimagining of a Swedish playwright, August Steinberg, put on by the students of USC School of Dramatic Arts. Set after the signing of the Civil Rights Act, the play follows a dramatic exploration of racial and social issues as the characters fight for power, freedom, and social change. Tickets are available now, and USC students can get a discount.
In other news, with the Los Angeles mayoral candidate race coming up, everyone should be as informed as possible about all the other candidates before casting their votes. With that being said, now is your opportunity to find out more in person right here on the USC campus. USC alumni candidate Karen Bass will be speaking at the Ronald Tudor Campus Center at the event hosted by Trojan Democrats. This event will take place at 7:30 and will require that you make a reservation online.
And speaking of politics, the USC Political Student Assembly plans to host a moderated virtual conversation with ex-presidential candidate and businessman Andrew Yang. Set to take place at 7 p.m., students can register using the Zoom link available on the Political Student Assembly's Instagram page.
And finally, make sure to check out 3 artists in conversation with Dulce Soledad Ibarra at the Fisher Art Museum on November 5th. The event will feature Los Angeles artists Gajin Fujita, Alfonso Gonzalez Jr., and Devin Reynolds as they all speak about how they made their art during the midst of the pandemic. And next up, we have an exciting interview with the man, the myth, the legend, Rob Paulson, who has voiced some of your favorite characters. Stick around.
Public service announcement from the United States government. There may be goblins hiding in your house. If your home security isn't good enough, goblins could get into your house so they can find easy, accessible food. Do you really want goblin ectoplasm all over your beautiful home? What about the new sheets you just got? Better be careful. Studies have shown that if you have a goblin infestation in your house, you should round all of them up, put them in a pot, and bake them in the oven at 400 degrees.
You love Uber Eats, the #1 app for getting your favorite local and chain foods delivered right to your door. Uber Eats is proud to present Uber Feeds. We want to go all the way for our customers, which is why we will have Uber Feeds delivery drivers literally feed your meal to you. Safety is our #1 priority, which is why every driver is vaccinated. Better yet, download now and get a delivery and feeding absolutely free. Uber Feeds, stuffed in more ways than one.
Feeling overwhelmed by school? Homework assignments keep piling up? Crippled by existential despair? Caffeine not cutting it? Well, then I have a solution for you. Procrastination.
Wow, so how does it work?
Simply take your work and stop doing it. Play video games. Go on your phone. Endless possibilities.
Boy, howdy, do I feel relaxed. Thanks, procrastination. Hi, I'm Josh Flowers. I'm 18 years old. I'm a freshman here at USC.
My name is Reese Chang. I am a sophomore right now, and I am studying business administration.
My name is Sophia. I'm a music industry major.
My name is Lola. I'm a theater freshman major.
I started skateboarding in high school. We didn't skateboard on campus. It was just something that we would do after school for fun.
I've been skating on and off, but I really got into it at the beginning of this school year, so just not too long, honestly.
I started when I was in 2nd grade. I would just like skate around with my friend Lily. I learned in her tennis court, on her tennis court. Nothing.
That's cool. I beat you. I started when I was 3 years old. I got a Roxy skateboard for Christmas, and I would ride it on my flip-flops, and I would eat it all the time.
Here on campus, I do skate to class, especially the ones that are a little farther from the dorm. I have a few classes that are like on the other side of campus, so it's really convenient to just be able to get on my skateboard because you can turn like a 15-minute walk into a 5-minute skate. It's just very, very nice.
I mainly got a penny board or skateboard to go to class faster because oftentimes I'm like rushing in the dorm and like I live like 10 minutes or like 10 to 15 minutes walking distance to most of my classes. So with the penny board, it takes like half the time.
I don't go anywhere without my skateboard. I get very impatient when I am walking places, to be completely honest. I love riding everywhere. I love it. Yes.
I've never seen a place where so many people skate. Like, I definitely wasn't expecting it when I came to USC. I had heard from my friends who go here that people like skate to class, but never did I imagine I'd see like hundreds of kids every single day on like skateboards, penny boards, electric skateboards. It's just like so fun to see all the different like twists you can put on the classic skateboard.
I love skateboarding culture. I think like the whole like boards being stacked on top of each other in front of dining halls, like that's my school, right? Yeah. Like that's California. Yeah, I love it.
I also love seeing like the amount of penny boards and like the amount of people learning to skateboard. I think while it is very entertaining, I think it's also super cool to like see, especially like girls, and like the diversity within the sport.
I think it's always like really fun to be on the skateboard, and it's like a great way to sort of cheer yourself up. I've gone skating on campus like at 3 a.m. when there's no one out, and it's just very cathartic. It's very like therapeutic.
Don't be afraid to fall. Make sure you wear some like knee guards maybe, and like do it with a friend so that if you do fall, you have someone to like pick you up. But once you get the hang of it, it's not that scary, and then you could actually go places really fast. So yeah.
Hi guys, we are back. I love hearing about the skating culture on campus because it's really unique at USC. But now we are here with Rob Paulson.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Or should I say, hello, Anna.
Thank you so much. You are really fulfilling a childhood dream of mine.
Thank you.
I've heard all about your work, but I wanted to know how you got into voice acting.
Well, in my case, I moved to LA ostensibly to do live action 43 years ago. I'd had a background doing live theater around the country. I'm a guy who was a singer first and became an actor. But like a lot of other people, you get to LA and you're exposed to so many different things, and especially here at USC, you have such an incredible facility, and Ken Johnson and your crew, I mean, it's just really a great bunch of folks. And so it gives you opportunities to try a bunch of stuff. And man, I just wanted to work, you know? So I auditioned for cartoons in the mid-'80s, and they were shows called G.I. Joe and Transformers. And the first thing I noticed, Anna, is I walk in a room with a bunch of actors whom I recognize from episodic television, and they're utterly unlimited by anything but their creativity. Nobody cared how they looked. And that is a big deal for actors who are not celebrities, to not be typed. And so I told my agent, man, I'm in. Get me more of this stuff. So I kind of let the on-camera stuff go and went down the voice acting road, and I'm very glad I did, because now I'm old enough to probably be your grandpa, and I still get to work every day, and nobody cares what I look like. It's pretty cool.
Do you think your music background helped you with your voice acting?
Absolutely. I know it did, especially in a show like Animaniacs. Animaniacs is if not music-driven, generally has 1 or 2 songs per episode, and I've done a lot of music for Animaniacs. Most people know a song I did that enumerates all the countries of the world, and it goes to United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, and our handsome cameraman is doing this. So clearly people know that, but yeah, music was a big deal. I read music, and as I said, I've been a singer longer than anything, so music has been a huge sort of arrow in my quiver, a very big deal for me.
How do you, like, get these characters and make them your own?
It's acting.
And make their voice, yeah.
Well, acting is acting, and I having done a lot of on-camera, half a dozen features, quite a bit of episodic television years ago, probably 35 on-camera commercials, and hundreds of stage performances before I got to LA. Acting is acting. I don't draw them, I don't write them. Man, I can't even draw stick figures. But, you know, it's about creating the soul of the character, and when it works on a high level, like Animaniacs or Jimmy Neutron, or the animation and the writing is really solid, and the actors execute their roles at a high level, it's pretty much timeless. I mean, Bugs Bunny is 80, and we can all watch Duck Season, Wabbit Season, Fire all day long and still enjoy it from, you know, when my grandparents were around. So it's all about acting.
Yeah. And you've done some pretty amazing acting.
Thank you. I have had more than my share of stuff. I'm a couple of Ninja Turtles. I am 50% of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and one old guy from Detroit. So I was Raphael before any of you guys were born on the original show, and Donatello on a later version on Nickelodeon. So if I live to be 100, maybe I can knock them all out.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character of the ones you've played?
Of the ones I've played, I would have to say probably Yakko and Pinky. It's a tie, because anytime you get to work with Steven Spielberg, world-class writers, a 30, 40-piece orchestra for every half hour. And I get to work with my friend Maurice LaMarche, who's the brain. He's a lovely actor. And I get to sing a lot in Animaniacs. And by the way, we've got a whole bunch of new episodes dropping on Hulu this Friday. On Hulu. Pinky loves to say Hulu. So that's a show that was big before you guys were born, probably, and is enjoying a huge comeback on Hulu with brand new episodes. And so that makes it very unique. And I would have to say that probably Pinky and Yakko are my two favorites. But my favorite job is the next one, because it means I'm still working.
Love that.
Yeah.
What are some challenges that you faced in your career?
I think, well, the biggest challenge is 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 throat cancer. Not hair cancer, not toe cancer, throat cancer. Surprise! What do they say? We make plans and God laughs. And that was a big challenge. But I'm fine. The treatment was pretty difficult, but I'm back doing my job. And so now, thanks to nice folks like you and doing interviews like this, I have a wonderful platform by which to share my story. And we never know, Anna, when someone will be watching this, maybe one of your students is seeing this, or will see it played back and have a loved one who's going through throat cancer. And so I think precisely because I had throat cancer, I can be of help as an example, because someone may call their dad and say, hey, Daddy, I know what you're getting ready to go through, but this guy who I just saw in Morning Brew, remember how much we loved watching Pinky and the Brain together? That guy is back doing the show after he went through this pretty brutal treatment on his mouth and his throat. So you got this, Dad. And that's why it's really important to be able to talk about things like that. And I'm so grateful you let me chat about it.
No, it's very incredible. It's a part of your journey.
It is.
You battled that, and you're back at your career, fighting stronger than ever.
Yeah, I feel really, really great. And so far, nobody's complained that Yakko doesn't sound like himself. So I think I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah. Where do you draw inspiration from?
Everywhere. You guys have, I'm sure you deal with a lot of actors here in production. And there's a phrase that we all use that we're like big sponges. I listen all the time. I create every single day just because it makes my soul happy. That hasn't changed from the time I was probably 10 years old. There is not a day that goes by that I don't try something new for myself. And so I draw inspiration from people whom I meet, other actors. I work with the finest actors in Hollywood. And if you can't be inspired by people like Billy West or Maurice LaMarche or Tress MacNeille or Nancy Cartwright or Hank Azaria and Seth MacFarlane, people like that, they all are very inspirational. And they're all peers and people I know.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, it's great.
Wow, some big names. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
You have been telling us so many inspiring words, and I love hearing your journey.
Thank you.
It's great growing up watching your shows, to have you on the Morning Brew and here at USC. Next up, there are so many people who make our show possible. And today we are going to be meeting our producer. You saw her earlier, Maya Kirkpatrick, who was on air this morning. Check out how she goes behind the scenes as a camera, as a senior producer, and on this week's Brew Crew Profile.
I'm Maya, and I'm a senior producer on the Morning Brew. Yeah, so this is actually my first semester back at Trojan Vision since I was a freshman. I took 409 my first semester. Sophia, our lovely showrunner, and I were actually associate producers together. So it's kind of nice to like come full circle and do it. I'm a senior now. I really loved it as a freshman because I liked the hands-on kind of like fast-paced experience of it all. And so I think it's nice now to come back on as sort of like on the other side, not learning it, but also being able to like teach people and kind of like have a bit more of a leadership position.
What is your favorite part about the Morning Brew?
Ooh, I definitely like, I like the news aspect of it, I think, just because like, while there's things that you can definitely prepare for, I like that there's things that come up at the last minute that you have to change. It definitely keeps you like on your toes and thinking very fast.
Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this episode, and see you next time. Bye.